Hey everybody, I'm Renee, a designer with the Quilted Cow. Today we're going to be working on the buffet bag. This bag is tremendously big. You open it up, you have pockets all on the inside of it, elastic pockets on the outside of it. It can be the ultimate lunch bag for you. Or some people I have known use it as a small diaper bag to carry all your baby needs. Before we get started, I want to thank our sponsors, Husqvarna Viking Sewing Machines, Wilmington Prints, and Creative Grids. Let's get started. The buffet bag is a full-size pattern, a Quilted Cow exclusive, and you can find it on the website at thequiltedcow.com. The first you're going to do with your pattern, you want to cut all your pieces and go ahead and have the lining pre-done with the liquid vinyl if you choose to make it waterproof. This will help for if you use as a lunch bag to put in your wet items. All of your lining pieces you want to use the manufacturer instructions for the liquid vinyl. And the first thing we're going to start with is our pockets. And as you cut, to stay organized, make sure you label all your pieces. And we're going to start with the exterior outer pocket that's elastic. Very easy to make. You're going to grab your exterior pocket. You have your rectangle. You're going to fold it in half. And you're going to stitch right across the top stitch of the folded edge. And then right up underneath it, as you can see on this piece that I've done, here was my top stitch. You're going to come down and stitch again. That makes the casing that your piece of elastic is going to go in. And to be able to put your elastic in, I have a till thingy, and I go ahead, feed it in, and here's the slot. I'm going to feed my elastic through that slot and hold it. And then once you get started, you just want to bunch up all of this until you see it on that edge, and then just pull. And you want to keep on each end a piece of elastic. And then you're going to, on this piece, I can show you, you're going to stitch on this end to hold that piece. And then you're going to gather it to get it to the size that your pattern shows you what size you want this top to be at. Once you achieve that size, you're going to stitch the other end to secure it, and that's your pocket. Once you have that pocket complete, we're going to put it onto an exterior side, which I have already put my Insel Bright, and I have base stitched all the way around. You can also use free fuse to get it to hold down together. But once you have that elastic pocket, you're going to put it on your exterior, pin your side to where the bottom is lined up and your sides are lined up, and you're going to base stitch right down that edge there. And then once you have that side based, you're going to gather it and line it up on your other side, and your bottom's lined up too, but for now we're just going to baste our sides first to get those to hold. Now all we have is the bottom opened. This is where you want to gather it and kind of pleat it, and then just lay it flat with those raw edges lined up right across the side there. And there we go. That's how our exterior side. So you're going to do it twice on each side. So now we're going to work on our lining pockets, and it's the big pockets that's right on the inside on the front and back of the lining. You're going to make it the same way, just in a larger scale, just like you did your exterior pocket. So that's the elastic pockets. Everything's done for our exterior side mains and our lining mains. That's the hardest part to me, was getting that elastic in. Now we're going to do our pockets for our lining sides. We're getting all of the components assembled, and then we're going to put it all together. This one is very, very easy. You're going to take your lining side pocket. It already should have your lightweight interfacing on it, and we're going to fold it in half, wrong sides together, just like you did the elastic pockets, but we're not going to put elastic. We're just going to top stitch that edge right across, and it's going to look like this once it's completed. And then you can put it on a lining side at the very bottom, and you want to match up your sides and your bottoms, and you're going to sew around the top and the bottom just enough to hold it on there. Again, it's a base stitch. You're just getting it to secure. So there we have it. That's your lining pocket, and you should have 2 of them. So put those 2 side pockets with your front and back lining pockets. And now we're going to assemble our main part. So we're going to take one, our top or your bottom. It really doesn't matter at this point because we don't have any pockets on it. And then we're going to take our bottom and we're going to line it right on the side there. And when we sew it, we're going to sew starting and stopping 1/2 inch from the beginning and the end. So that's going to start forming the bottom of our back. And then we're going to take the second piece, which is either your front or your back. Again, it doesn't matter at this end. We're going to place it right side together. And then we're going to stitch starting and stopping 1/2 inch. So now we can just give this a good little press. I'm going to go off screen here and just press it real quick and see how I started and stopped 1/2 inch. That's going to help with the final construction when we go to put this bag together. So now you want either on your front or your back, again, it really doesn't matter at this point. We're going to put our exterior side pockets, the ones that had the elastic. We're going to put them on top part or the bottom part, but you just want to make sure this is the up. You want your pockets facing the correct way. And we're going to take this extra, lay it flat, and then give it a pin. And with this one, I'm going to start at the top, give it a few back stitches, come down, and we're going to stop 1/2 inch from the end. So now you can kind of see how our shell is starting to come together, but we're going to go ahead and set this aside for now and do the same thing with our lining pieces. So that is our lining shell starting to come together, and we're going to go ahead and finish this one off because it doesn't have any of the handles that needs to be on it first, and it'll kind of give you an idea of what the main's going to look like. So now I'm going to take these side pieces, so you have it laying flat. Here's my pocket, so front, back, or vice versa. And we're going to bring this up and match it with this side right here. And see where we did that 1/2 inch? That's where it's going to come together to make it to where it's easy. And with the elastic, remember me saying how it may pull? This is where you're just going to take that elastic piece and pull it flush right in there. Now, it doesn't matter which side we put it on. And when you sew this, you're going to start at the top, back stitch, come all the way down, just like you did your exterior. On one of the sides, you want to leave a 3 to 4 inch opening so that you can turn it later. And that's that side put together. See how it kind of looks inside there? Now we're going to repeat that with this. Now we have a little bit of a shell. You can see it in there. And all we have left are these openings right here on the sides. So now this is where you're going to pinch all of that together, line up those raw edges, and you're going to sew all the way across. And repeat for the other side, and that will finish the lining shell. And leave it inside out because we're going to be feeding that into the exterior here in a little bit. So let's go ahead and start making our handle so we can get it onto our exterior main. So with your handle, you have your strip. Let's pull over our mat, and we're going to take this, fold it in half, wrong side together, give it a crease. And then along that crease, we're going to take our fusible, and it's going to be from each end a 1/2 inch because we're going to fold these ends. And then we want to take these ends, fold them in 1/2 inch. If you have a hot ruler, it will work very well at this stage, but I'm just going to fold it and measure it, make sure it's the right size. Then I'm going to repeat that on the other end. And then we're going to take this side, fold it in, just give it a quick press right down the edge there. And then fold the other side in to where they meet in the middle. And you can give that a press, or you can just go ahead and refold it and then give it a good press that way to lay those seams down flat. And then you're going to go to your machine and you're going to do a top stitch all the way around. See how this one looks when it's completed? Just all the way around all sides to where it closes it up. So I have 2 handles already made, and I'm going to show you how you can make your tab for the end of your zipper for later. So let's pop those over there. And now you want to grab your exterior bag that you have made. So you want to take your main, fold it in half, line your edges up, and find your center. You can either mark it with a pen, or you can make a little ink mark. You're not going to be able to see it once you're done. It's going to be within the seam allowance. Take your handle, make sure it's not twisted, and then we're going to go 2 inches down and 1/2 inch to the side. All right, so there's our handles on. I've done both sides, and as you can see right here, I've got the X on there. So now we can assemble our exterior main just like you did the lining pieces. All right, so there's the outer shell. This one we're actually going to turn right side out. As you're turning, make sure you poke out all those corners. Now you can see on your exterior, see how you have your little elastic pockets on the sides starting to form into a cute bag. So now we've got our handles on, we got our exterior, and we've got our liner. So now we need to start getting our zipper top part done, and we are not far from being done. So you want to get all your zipper parts, and this is our goal. This is how it's going to look once you have everything together. So we're going to set that aside, and I'm going to show you how to get to that stage. Go ahead and grab your rectangle, and we are going to fold this on all edges a 1/2 inch towards the back to hide those raw edges. So I went ahead and kind of pre-folded mine. I'm just going to press it back down to make it a little bit more crisp. This has the insulated batting. So you want to get your insulated batting, slide it up under those tabs, and then fold it in half. Once you fold it in half, give it a good press, and this is how it's going to look once you get it to that stage. So now we're going to put it on the zipper. Let me show you on the completed project. You're using your whole zipper. So we have one to two options. You can either take these ends and fold them, and when you fold them, you need to make sure they're winged out just a little bit, because that's going to get hid. Or you can just go ahead and leave it just like that if you don't mind seeing the ends. But what we're going to do is take these two pieces that you just made, and we're going to sandwich them on this zipper just like that. And you want to make sure it's not so close to the coils that when you unzip it, it gets caught. You want to have it back just a little bit. This is usually about a 1/2 inch. The zipper tape is a 1/2 inch. So I usually go, about a 1/4 of an inch up into it. And you could always do your glue basting at this point too. So I'm going to go ahead and put just a little bit of beaded glue down. This Roxanne's Bastic glue I find is the best. And I am going to go ahead and wing and fold this back and lay it right there on this edge and press that down to where the glue keeps it from moving around on me. And if you find your little scrap fabric, I would just go ahead and go down. You should not hurt the coils, but I always like to give it just a little bit of protection. And then this top here, to keep it from moving around on me, I'm just going to put just a little bit, put a pin in that. And then glue baste. Check your back. Make sure you didn't go up too far, which I did not. And then take your glue base on this edge and fold this edge up. Same way. Now I'm going to take the sewing machine, and I'm going to start down here, come up, around, and then come down the outer edge. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. See how I've done the side, top, and the side. And there we go. It's that simple. That zipper is now on that side, and we're going to repeat and do the same thing with this side. But before I do that, because I have already had this finished, you're just going to do the same thing on this side and see when you catch it how that fold is in there. I'm going to show you how to do this zipper on the end. You just take your square, you're going to fold it in half. You can just finger press it and then bring these in. And then I always go ahead and give it a press so it doesn't spring open on you. You can always put a little bit of basting glue in there to get it to stay. And then I fold it again, 1/2 inch in, so that when you fold it, you don't see any raw edges. And then you're going to sandwich it right down here on the end of your zipper. See how I did this one? And then come up, over, and down. And that's how it looks when you're complete. So now, this is our top. See our top right here? We're going to put that into our main and lining in the final assembly. Oh my goodness, we are almost done with this wonderful bag. So now I have my liner and I have my exterior. My liner, I'm going to have a wrong side out. And for my exterior, it's going to be right side out. So that when I feed these in, I'm just going to scrunch this up, feed it in. They are right sides together. Push your handles in, out of the way. Make sure you're lining up your side seams. I'm just poking all my handles in, getting it out of the way so that when I do this stitch, it doesn't catch the handles in it. So once you have it the way you like it, and I'm just going to do a little bit of a pin, you want to make sure that your zipper end and pull is tucked down below the stitch line. So see it just kind of tucked right down in there. Just want to tuck it down, make sure it's not twisted. It should be upside down right now because that's how we are putting this in, upside down. And then find your center on this side. I'm just gonna kind of hold it there and then sandwich it in between the two layers again on this side. So we're going to sew all the way around the top because we have our opening in our lining for turning for later, so we can close all that up. Make sure as you're stitching that you feel as you go and you're not catching any of your handles in it. All right, so I've got all that sewn, so now we're just going to pull our lining. All right, so once you get it all pulled out, you've kind of got it like this, and you can just reach your hand into the lining opening, push out all your corners. And I always, because we're going to be giving it a good top stitch right here when we get everything inside, I go ahead and take the iron and just give it a good press right there on that seam. And now we can place the lining into our exterior, and then we're going to top stitch. Make sure your handle's down, and we're going to top stitch right there, 1/8 of an inch from that seam. So once you have your top stitch, you want to close your lining opening. You can do it by hand or by machine, but you're just going to fold it in, 1/4 inch on each side. Pinch it together and then just do a small stitch all the way up to close that opening. And there you have your buffet bag. Remember, you can get the pattern at thequiltedcow.com. Don't forget to hit like and make sure you subscribe so you can see all of our other tutorials. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Okay, you wicked cool quilters, good job. You made it to the end. We would like to thank our sponsors, Husqvarna Viking Sewing Machines, Creative Grids, rulers, rotary cutters, and mats, and Wilmington Prints for the beautiful fabrics. Thanks for watching.